Our mission at My Veteran Passion MVP is to elevate awareness of veterans' mental health. Through both physical and virtual platforms, we empower our nation's warriors and continue the battle against veteran suicide to ensure a smooth transition for veterans into civilian life while preserving the camaraderie they cherished during their service. Through diverse events, social and virtual gatherings, we provide connections, resources, benefits, and education.
And as I've
Strong bodies harbor resilient minds. Your support unleashes the true potential of these national heroes. Stand with us in nurturing success and creating a positive environment for mental and physical health alike.
My Veteran Passion is a 501c3 federally recognized nonprofit designed to help the community's mental health through physical fitness and virtual gatherings to aid veterans in transition to their local communities and prevent veteran suicide. The views expressed by individuals are individual ideas. MVP does not condone the use of sexist, racist, or discriminatory statements or remarks. This is an adult conversation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the MVP Morning Mix today. This is me, Doc Soto. How's it going? I wanted to welcome everyone into it. Today we're going to be talking about... Oh, let me turn this off. Sorry about that.
Like laid his head all the way down.
Welly. What's up, buddy?
He's big. How much does he weigh? Burnt man. He looks big.
Yeah, like 9 pounds. Or...
Damn, I come in, Karito's like, hey, how much do you weigh? And I was like, oh, shit.
We're already judging so early? And we're live? And we're live on Twitch? That's crazy. Yeah, welcome, everyone. Welcome, Miss Jade. How you doing? Miss Banca, how's it going? Thank you for pulling up the stream. Really appreciate it. We also have a couple other MVP members streaming. If you guys are streaming as well, let me know. So at the end, we can give some time so we can put them in the $10 gift raffle that we do when we start talking and communicating a little bit more. But today, we're going to talk about Weller's favorite subject, the foundations of positive psychology. So being positive, it's something we talked about recently, and I think we talk about it constantly because we know a negative Nancy. We all know those negative people that like just drain you, And to me, whatever's happening, it's just best when you're not negative. If it's gonna suck, it's gonna suck anyways. Let's try to have a good attitude about it so it won't suck as much, But yeah. We're talking about like nurturing those positive things around us, like how we can amplify good things in our lives and our strengths and joys, any achievements by just putting a positive light to it. We always like to say like, hey, I messed this up. I can't believe it, blah, blah. But what about the extra good things that we've done? I think that we all have a little bit to take a lesson on that. I think sometimes we're too hard on ourselves. Does anyone have like a time where something or someone, or you saw something, or you heard someone say something that gave you a different, maybe a positive perspective about something? I think it was Bill Burr, I think it was his name. The dude, I think he's a comedian. I think he was the one that said that, like, keep a positive keep a positive light or keep a positive. I already messed it up. Basically, what it was is that he said, like, just go into whatever you're gonna get into excited, not anxious. Why? Because as you go in excited, you're hoping for the best. You're going for the best. You know, will it be the best? Probably not. But hoping for it and then going like, oh, okay, but we still got something out of it, and thinking that way can help out. And if it doesn't happen or whatever, hey, at least you went into it with a positive attitude. Like you wanting to do something positive to it. Does that make sense?
Like seeing the glass half full instead of half empty.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when is a situation that you're like, all right, well, at least this didn't happen, or you've tried to find a positive approach to anything. Like what's a time and why did you do that? Like it's uh it's how to keep the core concept of like positive psychology. Um and that can go ahead.
Good morning. Um, I'll get this train rolling. Recently, in my recent life, um, I would have to say, uh, you know, when I got divorced, uh, I could, like, I was sad, yes, but I put a positive spin on it because it could have been worse. Like, we didn't have any children together. We split relatively 50-50 ish. Uh, and we kind of, and it happened very quickly. I mean, within the span of a year, I went from living in a house with 5 acres to selling it to getting a divorce to moving and buying a home. Like, so it was very quick and it was very fast and it happened uh unexpectedly on my end. But I'm happy now. Like I reconnected with myself, something that I haven't done in I looked inside myself, which is something I hadn't done in years, over like a decade. I really found out who I was again, and it kind of, I mean, it changed my life, and honestly, it changed it in a good way. Like I'm here with MVP. I I own my own home, just me. Like I'm comfortable. I made very smart choices, and uh because of how I perceive life, I'm in a better situation now than I was when I was married.
Yeah, man, thank you for sharing, man. I appreciate that. um Anyone else?
One of the things that kind of feeds my anxiety sometimes is everyone knows when you're worried about something, you don't ever fill in. It's like the unknown, right? So you're like waiting for something to happen and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't ever fill it in with like something good. You just all fill it in with all the negative things that could happen. So in the last, I would say, like couple months, I've been trying to redirect myself to, I think about the negatives, but I also try and think about the positives about, well, this could also happen too, and it could work out. And it's helped lower my anxiety quite a bit, I would say, just because in between now and worrying, nothing's going to change the outcome. So I might as well just think about everything, including the positives, because anything could happen. So it's helped not feed my anxiety lately, I guess.
To piggy bank off that, Pooh told me recently, very recently, to try and like not spiral, to really focus on the positive of every every kind of situation, conversation. Maybe not to think of things so much as an attack, but as like a constructive kind of positive way.
Uh,
Mhm.
Um, we all have, strengths, weaknesses, virtues that we individually we possess. Everyone is different than other people when it comes to different tasks, how they perform them, all that, right? Just because I like to play chess doesn't mean Banca's gonna want to always play chess with me. You know what I mean? Like it just sometimes doesn't click. But we have to learn to appreciate um, our creativity, our kindness, our perseverance, those positive psychology, encouragement, like poo, like how she said, like, maybe it's a different approach. Maybe we're used to always someone correcting us. That's why we see it as maybe as an attack instead of like a nourishment to your idea. See what I'm saying? Because I had to deal with that too. Like, um, I learned that like if someone was telling you something, it's because you're already wrong, and then you have to redo it all over again. I grew up as a kid like that, you know. So joining the military was kind of like that. So it was easy because whatever. But it's not a good habit, And we all bring good and bad habits from our upbringing, whether it be regional, culturally, whatever it is, right? We all bring up our different habits. So sometimes learning to appreciate that positivity that you bring to everything and people giving you more help. It's like um, when I started the nonprofit, someone told me like, "Hey, this is the way you got to go. This is the way I have to do it, and you have to do it first." And I said, "Okay." And the reason you got to do it that way is because no one likes to help someone that's sitting on the side of the road just waving and asking for someone to help them in the car. They want to see someone that's already pushing the car. If someone's already pushing the car, people are more willing to get out of the car and help them push than rather the person sitting by the side of the road not doing anything with their car just broken down. People are more willing to help those some people that are already helping themselves. But yeah, I mean, and that positivity, it permeates other places, as you start thinking a little bit more positive and certain things happen in your life, whether it be good or bad, and focusing on the positive thing, you start growing personally, like if someone gave you something like, oh, all right, cool, like I'm going to use it for the next time that I do something or whatever the approach of strengthening the idea that you had, or you start learning, um you know maybe because of that you decide to take a, I don't know, a math class, you know but it also can help you out in the workplace, you know being positive in, throughout the day, not just in the mornings, because yes, we want to motivate everyone in the morning, and we want to make sure that everyone starts their day in a positive manner because it can go a long way. um if you stub your toe in the mornings, it's gonna you're gonna be a little bit mad longer than if you stub, hit it at night and then you go to sleep. You know, see what I'm saying?
Sleep it off.
Yeah, yeah. But
To also, good morning again. Hi. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It's good to see so many people and their beautiful faces. Um, but like Plum was saying too, I that's something I had to learn too about not worrying about the small things or also changing the way I look, because when you go into a situation, it's so funny because for certain things people think positively. How many people play the lottery and they're like, I'm gonna win. And if I win, I'm gonna do this, and that. But then when it's like, hey, can I we need to talk, it's like, oh shit, what's going on? What did I do wrong? It's because of the way you think. It's because you're perceived already having negative thoughts on it. You start panicking, you start, like freaking out. And it could be nothing big at all. It could be something, but once you start being once you start changing the way you think about things, oh, somebody wants to talk. Okay, cool. I wonder what it's about. You know, like once you start thinking that it's no longer like negative, then like if you have that same outlook of I'm gonna win the lottery with more things in life and you become more positive, like it doesn't you don't have to fear everything. You don't have to fear everything that comes out of somebody's mouth because it's not you put a positive spin on it. Same thing when Doc was talking about criticism. Like if it comes like I don't care what people think. I really don't. If you don't pay my bills, you don't sleep in my bed, or you're not my offspring, to be politically correct. Like I don't your opinion doesn't matter to me unless I let it matter. And if someone two people could tell me the same thing, and if I don't care about your opinion, it's gonna go in one ear, not the other. And like Doc was saying, like if someone gives you criticism, like is you have that power to let it affect you. And if it comes from a place of love, sometimes people don't have the right words to tell you that, hey, like one of your eyebrows is messed up. You should probably fix it, you know? Not anybody specific. I don't want anybody like, you know, but you know, is you put a positive spin on things. Like sometimes people just don't have the right words. They're not very they don't have the right vocabulary to tell you, hey, you're messed up without saying, hey, you're messed up, you know?
Yeah. Me learning, okay, like examples that just keep coming up with this topic. It's many, but something that me as I'm growing in life and I'm trying to be a better person, individual, um, to make sure that I'm the best example for my kids. Um, I've come to learn more about mental health outside of me, like more learning about my kids, like learning about OCD and anxiety and this, like, through them, trying to see my kids whenever they are acting out and learning how maybe the way that I was brought up in order to like release all of those emotions or express, it was frowned upon and also like behavioral health and all that stuff. So first it was really hard for me to I was very hard-headed in like whenever they would act in a way that I wasn't like it just wouldn't align with me. It was not convenient for me. And to me it was just very easy to just like, oh, I deal with it, suck it up and go forward because that's what I knew, that's how I dealt with it. But also I have to open my mind more to like, well, I'm here to make a difference and I want to be a better parent for them and them to have a better life and not to be so messed up, because I'm pretty sure that as I've been, learning to be a better person, I've learned to cut out, things that I was bringing from my own childhood. So in my journey to being better, more understanding, and learning more, about um, their struggles, and also dealing with my own, even like learning about ADHD, and like it's. I would like learn it from like just example with Z. Like he's been putting out some stuff where I'm like, oh my god, I feel targeted. Like that is so crazy. And then so that's really good. But then I'm also very good at um like guilt, shame, and condemnation. Like when I realize that there's something for me to fix, that I'm doing something wrong, like just a realization, I'm really quick to just be hard on myself. And that's when I get a really good opportunity to have to force myself. And the more I do it, the better I become. But I mean, we're always learning and growing. So to like really see the fucking half filled glass instead of seeing what's missing from it. So that has helped me in, I think, in just all aspects of life, because even just dealing with people at the workplace or in life or just in anything, whenever something has happened or I'm not seeing like the whole picture, I always try reminding myself, like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot going on that I'm not aware of, which I wouldn't have to, right? Because everybody is their own world. But I think for me, just learning and applying new things to become better as we grow, because we all evolve, we all become better. My belief system on certain things or topics or people, just a year ago, 2 years ago, long ago, a lot of it has changed and evolved as I grow in life. So my perspective now in things, I'm always like better, like whatever I can apply for myself so that I can see the glass half full, like I do it. Like just this morning, like it's things even like in my past that I've like cut off. It's just like the moment I wake up, the moment I realize that I'm awake, I smile and I feel stupid. Apparently, I look like crazy, but I'm like, and I think that's just like one step in trying to make myself look and start the day looking already at the glass half filled. Regardless of how I feel, my first thoughts that come around, I'm like, okay, smile, bitch. Oh, sorry, I don't want to say bitch, but like smile, just smile, and immediately just like, oh, I gotta do this, and the anxiety starts hitting, like all of this I gotta do, and I don't feel like doing anything, and all I want to do is just like hide and whatever. But like, no, 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 you're better than that. So it's good to like learn skills, like even just the morning mix or things like I look forward to that. I know that that's coming, and I think I got off subject, but those are things that I do so that I can
Yeah.
look at the glass half filled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you talked about it, like, overall the journey. It's the journey that we're in. Another thing that someone said, and it resonated. I forgot where I heard it, but um, it's it's not the travel road or the destination, but the people you travel with. And that helps us remember the journey. And there's a model. It's called a PERMA model, or I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but P is like positive emotion, E is engagement, R is relationship, M is meaning, A accomplishment. And basically what it is like the positive emotion with P, you know, like Carito said, being grateful, gratitude, for the little things, the little wins, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, taking your dog for a walk, the engagement, being part of the MVP morning mix, being part of Discord, being an MVP affiliate, that could help you build a stronger relationship with a community that will give you more. The R being relationships, like strong bonds, community, connection with others, and being meaning. Starts giving you meaning on what you want if you don't know what's going on. Sometimes our biggest fear is that we don't know what we want to do or why are we here. So finding that meaning, that id to your life again, and that that in itself will give you that A on PERMA, which is accomplishment. Pursuing a goal that you see. If you're like, all right, I like video games. Maybe I want to be a video game designer. I spend, so much time playing video games. Cool. So then you start putting goals and you start pursuing things, whether it be a certification or a degree, those little wins end up helping you give more meaning to your life. For somewhere in Google, read it, Carito.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I'm not muted.
Pooh, I thought she was a reader.
Oh yeah, where's Pooh?
I'm raising my hand. What do you want me to read?
I was laughing at these.
There are 5 building blocks that enable flourishing: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment, hence PERMA. And there are strategies to increase each. There are many different routes to a flourishing life.
Continue. There's a Banca said something to.
Embrace
like,
power.
We're like literally passing her. You raised your hand. What did you raise your hand for, lady?
Who?
I want to know what
Me?
you have.
We can't see you.
Everyone.
We
I
can't.
put it in the chat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me.
Okay.
You can't yell at me. We had such a good morning.
Banca, I wasn't yelling at you.
was having-
You were over here
I
saying
was
I
having
raised my hand,
trouble hearing
Carlito.
You're waking up Burn. Just go ahead.
No,
Pooh.
I can't hear Pooh. She's talking too quietly.
Shut up, you lying ass.
Also, good morning, Rojo.
I love
Good
you,
morning.
Burn.
Good morning.
How dare you show up to the morning mix without the
Oh, yeah,
baby?
what are you drinking? What's your drink?
Coffee. The baby is asleep, and she's been awake since like 1 this morning. So let her sleep, please.
Okay,
Go,
Pooh,
Pooh.
are you ready?
I kind of just gave up.
I feel your pain, Pooh. I
Oh,
feel
me
it.
too. I feel your pain, honestly.
Bonk.
That wasn't me. Mm-mm. It wasn't me.
You know, one of the things
Mhm.
that I'm just listening to everyone talk, and I'm just trying to think, I'm like, well, what's the alternative if you don't think positively? Like, the road to the destination is still the road. You can either have a sing along down the road or you can pout down the road, but the destination is the destination. So what's the alternative? Like, you either have a good time getting there or you just be miserable getting there. Yeah, people
Love that
suck and like
analogy.
people suck and life sucks and you have to make like pit stops and people drop nails on the road and it flattens your tire, but regardless, you just have to deal with it and get to the destination. That's the goal.
Yeah. I
Ooh.
think with that also, I think I've been in. I see myself being in both situations. One, in being in the situation where I'm just, playing a very good role at being, a victim or hurt or just, and sometimes like all I want. I mean, I see myself so much in part of my life, like just so focused on what's wrong and just everything that's going wrong or how miserable I am, everything that's missing, everything that's all of that. And I've been in situations where even I don't want to hear it, and I've seen like other people too, like my kids, but also just the impact that it has had when someone has opened my mind when I haven't even realized, that that's what I'm doing. Or I remember, and not just for myself, but I've seen it in other people too, because I'm so aware how that impacted me sometimes where I wasn't even aware, how good just breath work can be good for me, or simple stupid stuff like just smiling and how we can easily trick our brains. And um I have to be very aware of that because even like in like my having a kid, like going through depression, it's really easy for me. Like, hey, you want to be there, like just fine. But also just knowing how important it was having someone, that knew better than me and guide me and actually like be patient and stuff. That's how I learned to be kind and compassionate with myself, so that I then could do it for kids. So now when I appreciate, I think, having come to the realization that sometimes I'm the problem. If there's things going on in my life, and I'm just like, I think it's good for. I like these conversations because it makes me think. Because immediately I'm like, oh, like I know that exactly. Like I've seen people, like yeah, right. Like if you deal with it, also like I'm full of shit. Because instead of me like just pointing fingers, I've been there too. And learning from it and seeing what it is that helped me. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody else, but I try to put that a little bit like out there. It's absolutely right. Like we all see, and I think I've been there too, like I said, where I'm just looking at the negative, and it's sometimes nice to see little lamps that sort of like tilt you like, okay, look into the light. I'm like, oh shit, things are not that bad, and it's up to me to be looking up instead of looking at everything that's wrong.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And it's like if you get it like if something happens in your life and it kind of stops your progress in something, you can't just sit there and let it stop your progress everywhere. You have to keep moving forward. You have to say, okay, that didn't work. Now I have to try this. There's always plan B, plan C. You just keep going until you find the right plan that works. But when you just sit down and pout, then you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And the foundations of a healthy like relationship is how we deal with one another. So if someone's and this is just me, like if someone's showing you um hey, what about this and that, depending on where you are or your mood or like you said, if we take it in a corrosive or aggregatory way to what we're saying because they want to help, or do we take it like if they want to, bring us down? That's that's a big one because we could be bringing down a relationship thinking that they are trying to hurt us when they're trying to help us. And your mentality says it all. Sometimes we don't accept the help because we don't know how to accept help, you know? There she is. Now see, you can raise your hand now. There she is. Hey!
I think talking about what Plum was saying about you still have to travel the road, a lot of us understand the term embrace the suck. You have to go through it. Your attitude determines the type of journey you're gonna have. It all depends. Like we go on uh, humps, and you have to do it anyways. But if you're smiling, one, it pisses a lot of people off, and two, it makes the trip that much better if you're have a positive attitude. And sometimes when you approach a situation, I've never been a very glass half empty, glass half full person. I always want to know what was the glass before? Are you adding water to it because now it's half full? Or did you take water out of it because now it's half empty? So if you understand where someone's coming from, then you can understand what the glass is. So it's not just is it this or that? Like I feel like there's a lot of times where you have to know a little bit of background. Are you angry, or are you angry at me? Or are you just having a bad day? You know, am I the reason that you're happy, or are you having a good day? If you understand little things, like a little bit of background to stuff, you can decide if, well, it's half full or half empty.
Yeah, perspective, like you said, if you're looking at it from this side or that side, or before, we had to start looking at it, it's also a good perspective. Like, why are we looking at it now instead of like what happened in order to do that? I get what you're saying. And I think it's being part of being purposeful in life. Like, why am I giving meaning to this? Why am I doing that? Like, I think that's on that level. Because it's going to motivate you or take motivation away to do either or. Like, if it's half full, I guess you're more wanting to do that, or if it's half empty or someone took away, why would you want to continue to put into it? Is that what you're trying to say, type of thing?
Um, I mean, sure. I just knowing more about a situation can help you deal with that situation better.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that it was a negative, uh, like anything in life, any sort of relationship, if you know that person had a bad relationship beforehand, it can help you out a lot to future a future relationship, not just dating, but like if if you have a relationship with somebody, and they're in a very bad place, that determines a lot about your guys' relationship, because it might be, to you it might be toxic
Mm-hmm.
because they're not in a place that you want to bring into your own life.
You,
So go ahead.
you said something about embracing the suck, which is great because that's life. For those people who don't know, it was a term that, when we were in the military, we used it to say, like, hey, buddy, this is going to suck anyways. You might as well just embrace it. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I think we need to take that into a bigger macro perspective and say in life, if you want to grow, you have to sometimes be uncomfortable. It is what it is. Get comfortable doing that. One of the biggest, like when you said embrace the suck, it reminded me of we were doing a hike. We were doing a hump. We call them humps. We're doing a hump. It was like I think it was like a 12-mile hump or something like that. And, having all that gear and stuff like that, like we know it's gonna suck. So I said, whatever, I'm gonna grab some candy, so as I'm walking, I have something sweet in my mouth, so like it doesn't suck as much. And as I'm doing that in like mile like 5 or 6, I grab some candy. I don't they tell us like don't eat unless you need to. And at that point, like I was like, all right, I'm getting mad, cranky, I'm hurting. I grab a piece of candy and throw it in, and I'm like, all right, cool. I have something to distract me. I have sugar, whatever. I see my buddies like still hating life too, and I give them a candy. It changed their life. It changed their life. Like, I was like, all right, it's not that bad. But we have to learn that there's some tactics, techniques in order to make our suck not that bad. You know, what's the saying, or how's it go? Like, if something about life and being dumb, or like if you're life is hard on people that are dumb, basically that are naive, that don't want to learn from prior examples or what people are saying. So they have to go through some more trials than most, because sometimes we don't want to listen. Like, hey, don't go that way, you're gonna fall into a hole. And you go there anyways, and guess what happens? You fall into the hole. Like, you're not the first. That's why we said don't do that.
Our corpsman used to say "stupid hurts."
Yeah.
That a patch of it right here said "stupid hurts."
Yeah, and if you're like that, you better be tough. Like,
Yeah.
so
You're gonna be dumb.
yeah, you better be
tough.
tough. Yeah,
100%.
some things that
Rocks are dumb, rocks are hard.
But knowing that, like, we can bring those things that we learned into into the civilian side, transition that into it to help us understand, like, hey, now I have to do this. Hey, thanks for that sub. I appreciate you very much. But it's part of Squirrel. He did that to me, One year. Not worthy. Thank you very much. I need to fix my my alerts, because like this thing is going off forever, and I've tried changing them multiple times. I guess I don't know. I'm not doing it right.
Something that I kind of remember that was important to me, that still sort of sticks with me, is the positive mental attitude. We learned about that in boot camp, and it sounded crazy to learn about something like that. Like, while you're going through this process of becoming a Marine, I would have never thought they would have stopped and been like, look, don't forget to stay positive. And it kind of confused me at first, and then I didn't really think anything of it, but I would always remind myself, like, hey, to stay positive, it's what we're supposed to do. And it wasn't until I got out of the military that it was hard to stay positive. And it became an effort to stay positive because of how bad things have become for myself. But what I learned through that process was just doing those little things, like Doc said, like having your piece of candy while you're on your hump, like do that little thing that helps you out to remain positive, and that can go a long way. And also too, when we were in the military, I think from my experiences and the experiences of others, we probably saw there's this good example that I'll just give, and it was something I was watching last night, and it was an officer talking about how he would give an order. And he had two options. He could say, gentlemen, we have a 30% chance of taking the hill, so we're going to risk it and go for it, and people are going to get hurt, but we're going to try and take it. Or I'm just going to give the order and say, hey, we're attacking this hill, get ready. Like, there's two options there. And you can't give that first one on the table. Like, that can't be on the table. That will never happen in the military, right? That indecisiveness from a leader. it will happen case to case, but I think the biggest takeaway that I had from it is his mentality towards it. And he even discussed the positive mental attitude. He said, you know, even in the military when times get tough and you're going to have to do something terrible, you have to stay positive. And I think that's big. They use it in the military. We use it to get better in the civilian world. We use it on our day-to-day journey of going through life, of daily stressors, whatever it is. Positive mental attitude goes a long way.
All right, real quick, guys. Can we put a pause in this conversation? Let everybody pull up that screen.
No!
Look at how I broke it.
He broke it.
Pull up that stream. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Unmute it.
Maybe it was the yeah, I mean I like it, but
If you honestly just go to that browser source and click on the properties and refresh cache, it should stop.
that source.
That browser source. I don't know what you have.
Nate's over there losing her mind. Like, please.
Oh.